A couple of years ago in 2019, I did make a video talking about an idea I did have for Splatoon 3, and pretty much what this idea was that in the new hub area there would be a neon sign, and pretty much it would be covered up with like scaffolding. You wouldn't really get to see what was behind like the covering. It was covered up with material like what you see on building sites. There was something going on in the hub area, and what my idea was that pretty much throughout the life cycle of Splatoon 3 you do get to see that building progress even more, and Nintendo wouldn't really notify us on what that building was. It was just something in the background that was at the edge of the new hub area that was just progressing slowly but surely. It was like a real life sort of situation where you do see big buildings take years to progress. And what I was thinking that pretty much when it did finish completion, it would be a neon sign, it would be Marina's head, and pretty much you would walk into her mouth. And that was just sort of like my little idea I did have. But of course Splatoon 3 did get revealed. Splatsville is the new hub area. There is nothing like that in this new hub area. It is full of apartments, but I really do feel like Nintendo should still do this idea. So pretty much what I have in mind is a stage creator for Splatoon 3 where we get to create our own custom game modes, our own custom stages. And pretty much Marina, we don't know whether she will be appearing in Splatoon 3 or not, but she will be the tutor for this game mode, because we do know in the lore of the game that the Octolings and the Octarians, they are really good with technology. Marina, she did build all of the shifty station stages in Splatoon 2. So my idea was that she was going to be the tutor for a stage creator in Splatoon 3, and that is just my concept. And pretty much in the stage creator, you would get access to all of the elements that Nintendo does use themselves in Splatoon 3 stages. And yeah, at this very early stage, we don't know whether shifty station stages will be coming to Splatoon 3. So what would be really cool is if in that stage creator we did have access to all of the elements in the shifty station stages as well. So you could create your own shifty station stages, you could create your own bunker games, you could create your own cannon fire pearl, and it could just be a stage full of cannons everywhere. That would be really, really cool to see Nintendo doing that. Now my idea is that this wouldn't be available straight away. This feature would be available sort of around about where we are now with Splatoon 2's life cycle, where at the moment we are not getting any new stages, any new weapons, any new gear. New content has ended for the game because of course they were developing Splatoon 3. I'm not sure whether how long it will take for us to get the next game, which I know sounds daft talking about the next game after this one, but I feel like Splatoon 3 should last for quite a while, and for the game to last a while, players do need something to come back to, and having new stages created by the players after when Nintendo has stopped creating stages for the game, I feel like that will be really cool to see. And I would love to see custom game modes as well, where we get to see like what the community can come up with. So I feel like that, like letting the community sort of create content for the game, that will definitely extend the life cycle for Splatoon 3, and it's definitely something which I really want to see in the game. I know creating stages is really, really hard to do, and chances are we probably will not be able to create stages as good as Nintendo. But I feel like at that late stage when Nintendo has sort of moved on, it will just be really cool if the players were allowed to keep the game alive. And yeah, just really, really want to see this feature in Splatoon 3. And yeah, pretty much what I am suggesting is that maybe we do have Splatoon 3. Maybe that will be a thing to launch with Splatoon 3, and in Splatoon 3 pretty much you will get like a sort of section on there where you can go through all of the user generated content, sort of like in Smash Bros Ultimate, where you can look at all of the custom created stages and stuff like that. Maybe there could be a section on Splatoon 3 where we can do that, download stages for our game. Maybe this would be only available in private battle game modes. I feel like custom stages, custom game modes, maybe Nintendo would only let that stuff in private battles, which would be better than nothing. I know some people will say, oh yeah, it's going to be really hard to do that in a third person shooter, but I played a shooter called Time Splitters back in the day, back in the early 2000s, where they did have a stage creator, and even on the PS2 you could share your stages, your maps online. You could download them, I do believe. I never had the opportunity to do it. I didn't have internet back then, which I know a lot of you guys, it might sound really weird for me to say that, but yeah, that's just, you know, how far back I do go. So yeah, Time Splitters did have that. I'd love to see another one of my favourite shooters have a stage creator. And yeah, I just saw what Smash did, how they allowed us to create custom stages. Overwatch, I do believe, is doing something similar. And yeah, I would love to see something for Splatoon 3. I would love to see Nintendo do a stage creator. In the video so far, I've mainly focused on custom stages and how they could benefit Splatoon 3, but custom game modes as well. If Nintendo did allow us to use some of the tools in the game, some of the elements in the game like special weapons, and allows us to create our own custom game modes within this game mode where you can create your own stages, your own game modes, it definitely could help Splatoon 3 to last for a long while. I've seen what the modding community has done for Splatoon 2. They have definitely made that game feel really fresh with some of the stuff they have done. I would love to see what they could do if Nintendo allowed us to create our own custom game modes, whether it be infinite moon jump or pretty much have players with extra large sort of heads, or say like if you could take the baller special weapon, if that did return in Splatoon 3, and allowed us to create a game mode where you would always be in the baller, you would have to race to the finish line. So you could create game modes that, you know, aren't really the main sort of focus of the game. The game is a third person shooter, but if you could do stuff like platforming levels where you had to race to the top before the water will kill you, that definitely would help to keep the game fresh. It's like I've played Counter-Strike, the original Counter-Strike on the PC many years ago, and most of the stuff I did play with my mates was custom game modes where either it was, you know, custom game modes where it was like a 1v1 arena where pretty much you would go up against another person in the lobby and you had to kill them. And yeah, it just was really fun to play on. I would love to see something similar with Splatoon 3. And I just want to sort of talk about how pretty much fan-made game modes like Infected, that did become one of the most popular multiplayer modes in Call of Duty. So who knows, if Nintendo did give us the tools to create our own game modes, who knows, maybe the next best thing could come out of it. Maybe Nintendo could sort of look at that, and maybe they could create like a spin-off game based on something that we did create, or something that pretty much we did. They could expand on that and maybe add it into the game. So yeah, I'd just love to see Nintendo allow us to be creative with the game, but again, like I said earlier, after when they have added in their own stuff to the game. I did make this video a couple of years ago, by the way, but not a lot of people watched it. I thought I would remake this video, rework it a little bit, and yeah, I feel like now is the perfect time to talk about what they should do throughout the whole of the life cycle. And yeah, I feel like this would be really cool to see. I am going to make a wish list video, what I want to see in Splatoon 3, and this is definitely one of them. But I wanted to expand my points in its own separate video. So yeah, that video will be coming out really soon on the channel. But let me know your thoughts about this Splatoon 3 stage creator concept that I have talked about in this video. Do you think it would work? Do you think Nintendo would do it? I don't think they would, but yeah, I definitely would love to see them tackle this sort of thing and introduce this sort of game mode way in the future, not like when it does come out in 2022. I'm not asking for that. I'm saying that when support might end in 2024, 2025, release this new feature. I'm talking way in the future here, but I feel like now is the perfect opportunity to talk about what Nintendo could do throughout the whole of Splatoon 3's life cycle. It's just one of my ideas I've got for the game, and seeing as the game did get announced, interest in the game, in the series, has never been so high. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video now. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I will see you in another video soon.